got a quorum plus tonight, which is a good thing to have, so that's good. And what we have to do to establish a quorum with this, since we have some virtual participants tonight, is we have to basically call roll and recognize everybody. And we have Miss Stephanie Wimberly,
Here.
Mr. Victor Tarana, Mr. Daniel Boland, I'm Mike Metz, Mr. Bennett Garner, Ms. Ann Ward, and by virtual, Ms. Christina and Ms. Ruth. Correct? Raise your hands. All right. Y'all hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ruth?
Gotcha.
All right. So basically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here tonight. 8 out of 10. That's a good showing, and we appreciate everybody's time. Would you say the invocation for us?
Sure, if we could please bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here this evening for this meeting, this quorum. Thank you for allowing us to have a quorum. I do ask you, Lord, to please help all of us to act within good reason and within good faith for the betterment of our community. And Lord, please help us to all travel home safely after this quorum. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, and most people know Miss Ann Peters. She retired, and we were blessed to get a new young lady to help us, Miss Katie Wirtz, which is, most people gonna know her after she's been introduced. She's a local product of Little Mountain. I've known her mom and daddy since before she was born, and worked with both of them on time to time. And we're gonna let Miss Ron give us a little introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to let those, and you briefly touched on it, that Ms. Peters did retire a little over a week ago. It was her last day. Back on May 8th?
May 8th.
May 8th, Katie came to work with us. She comes from the city of Newberry. So we sort of grabbed her and brought her over here. And so we're glad to have her. And she's our new zoning administrator. So want to welcome her and thank her for being here with us. So,
Product of Mid Carolina High School and product of Newberry College, so we're fortunate to carry on tradition and keep the local talent here in the county. So I'm glad. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We have our minutes from our March 16th, 2021 meeting. If you had time to look at them a little bit and go over them. And if, after you have a chance or two, if you take a motion to approve the minutes. All right, anybody entertain a motion on approval of the minutes? Got a first, second? Got them first and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
All, it's approved. All right, and first, we have a new business tonight. Case presentation of, it's MA 01-06-15-20, a zoning request for 121.
They corrected that to 21, the last two digits, since it's
Okay.
just had the wrong year on it.
Yeah.
All right. A zoning request for one real estate parcel totaling 17.73 acres at 2659 Counts Road, Prosperity, South Carolina, 29126, to be rezoned from RS Single Family Residential to R2 Rural, tax map number 523-46.
The property owners are asking for the rezoning. Their grandson has purchased a mobile home that he is wanting to put on the property. The dealer that he purchased the mobile home from actually didn't do their homework and didn't come through zoning prior to placing the mobile home. So the mobile home is actually already on the site. He came in to get his power on, and we caught that, hey, you don't have your zoning placement permit. So right now, as it stands in RS, he is not allowed to put a second mobile home. The mobile home that's currently on there was before zoning, so it's allowed. So for him to be able to keep the mobile home where he has it, it does require to be rezoned. And as you can see on the map, R2 rule adjoins the property in the back. So all of the land in the back of his property is already R2 rule. And the mobile home that he's wanting to, or is placed, is in the, if you're looking at the property, is in the right-hand corner. And again, it's already there. So no complaints from the neighbors so far.
Okay. Anybody like to speak on the subject? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just come to the mic and just state your name, please.
My name is Henry K. Hall Sr.
Okay, you all right?
I'm the owner of, half owner with my wife with this property.
Yes, sir.
Count Road, Parcel.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sir, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir and ma'am. About a year ago, well, let's put it this way. Let me start off from scratch, you might say. I'm a retired military. I'm retired from the State Department with a total of 40-something years. I'm 87 years old. I ain't no spring chicken no more, but I still got my mind pretty good. I could tell you a lot of stories, but we don't have time for this.
Yes.
About a year ago, my wife and I decided, because I'm 87 years old and she's 82 years old, we still got our health and mind pretty good. My mind is pretty good. We decided, we have 5 children, 4 girls and a boy. They all live locally in Newberry County except one, and she lives in Richland County. We all one happy family, just like most of us here today, okay? About a year ago, we decided that we're not gonna live forever, and we'd like to divide up our property. I was fortunate enough to make good money in the service and with the State Department. I've been in 41 countries throughout this world. I've traveled throughout 41 countries, my wife and I. We either work there or vacation there. So I ain't no spring chicken. And I wasn't born last night, even though my mother said I was born tonight, okay? So about a year ago, my wife and I decided to let's split up some of our property. We got a good bit of property here and there in Newberry County. Let's split it up before we pass away, and our children will have to fight each other for this property and monetary that we may have. And I'm sure that everybody here in this room will agree that that's a good thing to do. Let's split that property up among our children. So when I pass away and my wife pass away, that my children won't have to fight each other and make each other mad about it. They know what they're gonna get before I pass away. And so I went to a lawyer down in Chapin, a realty estate lawyer. I had my land surveyed, all of it. Here, there, 5 pieces of land, including the one that I live in today. And that house, my great-granddaddy was born in 1855, and he built the house that I live in today. But when I was in Moscow, Russia in 1990, my wife had it remodeled. And I told her, have at it, baby. And she did, and when I came home, had somebody blindfolded me and put me in that house, I wouldn't have known who I was at. I know So I live in a nice, comfortable house, and I enjoy it for the rest of my life. Anyway, getting back to the dividing the property up, I went through the real estate lawyer in Chapin and had all my property surveyed. And I says, I want this child to have this property. I want this child to have this property when I pass away. And some of them, I went ahead and gave them some of the property now. With the legal documentation from the lawyer that property is going to go to them when I pass away. The house and 6 acres with that house will go to my oldest daughter, and she lives in Columbia, and she knows she's going to have that house when I die and my wife pass away, if it's tomorrow or 10 years from now, down the road. Okay, so my daughter right here, Stephanie Jean Johnson, and her son right there, Alden Johnson, my daughter she graduated from London College with a master's degree in sports, and she was refereeing softball. And about that time, 5 or 6 years ago, she came home with a crushed leg. And so she didn't have no place to go. And I had just purchased that house, mobile home, and 17 acres on Counts Road. And I said, come on, baby, I know I got a place for you to live. And so I let her live in that place. Then later on down the road, her son wanted to live with her and get married and live. It wasn't up, so he decided, hey, let me buy a trailer and put on that land. I said, have at it, because that property is going to be yours when I shut my eyes forever, okay? And that's what I did. But, however, obviously, learning through the ropes and all this red tape business from Newberry County, I was unaware that I couldn't put nothing on my property without somebody else telling me what to do. I'm sorry, but that's what really happened. And so I told legally in documentation in the real estate with my lawyer that property is going to go directly to Stephanie Jean Johnson whenever I pass away and my wife pass away, when both of us pass away, or either in between. If we want to go ahead and make that legal now, we can do so. So anyway, getting back to the story with the trailer, mobile home, he went and purchased a mobile home and had it delivered on the property. And it seemed like every week we get a phone call from my daughter Stephanie telling me we need this or we need that. I've been to the courthouse over here one time not too long ago and had to sign a bunch of documentations that I give this property to my daughter, 17 acres and a mobile home that's already there. Been there. I paid cash money for it about 5, 6, 7 years ago, you know. And so, but try to make this story short. I'm sorry if I goofed up. My family's sorry that we goofed up. But my lawyer didn't tell us anything about this whenever we went through those procedures and set up the situation where it would automatically be hers when we pass away. He didn't tell us that we couldn't move another piece of mobile home on that property. With 17 acres, I could move I thought I could move a whole bunch of trailers on that property. Now, if you agree with me, thank you. If you don't, thank you. It's your choice. Thank you so much for hearing the goop that I put out today, but that's the way I feel. Everybody is in this world, you know, I've been in communist countries, many of them, and I don't want to be a communist individual. I want to be treated right, and I want to treat people right.
Well, hopefully, we can straighten this out for you tonight, and you'll be ready to go. But,
Thank you, sir.
is one of your daughters Rhonda?
Sir,
One of your daughters Rhonda? Oh,
I'm sorry, but I only have one hearing aid. I lost my hearing when I was in the service.
oh, okay. Well, I finished high school with Rhonda. She was a whole lot smarter than me.
And
Clemson with her too.
I spent
That's your niece.
21 years in the Air Force. And if you all remember Richard Nixon,
Yes.
at that time, I used to fly with that man for 5 years on the same plane. 5 years all over the world. So I ain't no trash people, so-called trashy people, you know.
Thank you for
Now,
your
thank you,
service.
sir. Thank you, sir.
And my mother and daddy couldn't afford to send me to school either, but I got my education after I stopped school and went to work and made money.
All right.
I treated everybody right, and I like for everybody to treat me right.
Yes, sir.
Anybody got any questions, please?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else, any discussion on it? I think you covered it. Okay. No, I appreciate the background. We have a recommendation from staff that this would be acceptable, to change it from a single-family residential to R2. Do we have a motion? First, second, and third, and fourth, and any discussion on the subject? Mr. Victor, I think first. Let Miss Stephanie House second. Okay. Be her first time. And if have first and a second, all in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand. Aye. All right, we got unanimous to change it. Any opposition? I don't see. All right, the motion carries, and thanks staff and for looking into it, and thank Mr. Hall. All right. Okay. We have a little bit more business, not much. Y'all welcome to stay, but if, yes.
Do we need to mention that it has to go before the council
Yeah, well, it's-
so that they know?
yeah, it goes to county council for the next stage. We just recommend it to move forward, and then it goes to county council for their blessing of occurrence and that type thing. So you have to kind of watch it on council. And y'all will be notified of when that would be done, so.
How long does that take us before we get the approval?
You know,
Next council meeting.
July 7th, I believe, isn't it?
Yes, and
So-
the first meeting in August, they're not having, so it'll be the last meeting in August. Will be the
Okay.
third reading. It'll be the last, they have 2 meetings, a month, so you'll go to the first reading will be the first meeting of July, second reading will be the second meeting in July, then August, the first meeting in August, they had to cancel, so the third reading, the final decision will be made the third Wednesday of August, but we'll get you on those dates. Okay?
But you'll be running, she'll give us the days. Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, any updates we want to get from county council on any items? We didn't, y'all,
I don't know of anything different. We got 3 neighborhoods going now. We got Stewart Landing, Paddler's Cove,
Rolling Hills. Rolling Hills.
Rolling Hills, the one on Old Jolly Street.
Jolly Street. Yeah.
And that, they did end up moving forward with maybe a reduced capacity or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah,
Did they end up reducing the number of homes in it?
was it
88 right now.
88?
Right now.
Well,
Which
they're,
one?
they're,
That's the one on Jolly Street in 773.
they're, submitting their preliminary plats at 88, so if that passes, then
It'll be, okay. Because I think that went up a little. I think the original one was 82. And they're like, oh, we're at 80.
it's at 88, and if it.
And so it went up from 82 to 88 now, and hopefully it stays at that.
It was 100 or something when it first kind
I think it was like 98 to start with.
Oh, was it originally?
Yeah, it
I mean,
was.
I was thinking it started out as 80, but okay.
that was part of it past us moving forward, and they had got the council, they stalled it, and that was when negotiation went from 96
Oh, I was
to
at that first council meeting.
83 or something like that.
Yeah, it stalled out for negotiations for a
I
while.
was one of the ones that stalled it. Yeah.
All right, any other discussion? If not, we'll have our next regular meeting July 20th, 21, if we have any business.
We
If
will
not,
have it.
we'll have business. That's good. All right,
We do have an interim county administrator now,
okay.
Mr. Tony McDonald from Columbia, from Richland County. I think he retired from there and he's gonna be the interim.
Interim,
Yeah.
they got a search committee and all that, or are they gonna set the applications?
I think so. I mean, they got applications. I don't know if he'll end up being permanent or he'll be interim and they'll choose someone else.
I don't know
What's his
which
name?
one of y'all three gonna get it.
Tony McDonald?
Yeah,
And you said he worked at Richland County?
yeah. William Anthony McDonald.
All right, if that's not anything else, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
One,
Yep, I'll
okay.
go.
One and a two, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we need that. Thank y'all for coming, we appreciate it, and good to see a big crowd. Thank y'all for joining us.
Held that man
Somebody joined the
better.
car. Betsy joined us. Well, that works out.
I did, I graduated in 2010.
Thank you. I gotta sign this.